And someone lost their Adirondack here.
So my buddy Ben and I have started kind of a tradition of going for about 1,000 miles in the month of July. Since we do our week-long tour at the beginning of July, it makes the goal fairly attainable because we come home the first week with a bunch of miles already in. So I just kind of try and go for it. Then July in general is a pretty decent month for riding in Northeast Ohio. This July has been extremely humid, but that's not something that bothers me all that much. We ride a lot in the shade and the breeze from riding. I can get by. There were a couple days where I, went a little shorter than I intended, though, because of the heat this year. Anyways, as I'm recording this, there's 2 days left in the month, and I'm only 38 miles away from it. So I'm probably going to go for it. After I record this video, I'm actually going to head out, meet my friends, and get some miles in, and that might get me there in and of itself. The problem is what has come with all the miles this year is my sciatica pain has returned. If you're new to the channel, I've had sciatica pain 2 times before on this level, which is really bad, about 2 years apart. The last time was in 2020. I had hurt my back gardening in 2020, just slipped something. And as my back healed up, the sciatica nerve pain really came on. I actually recorded the first live stream ever on this channel from my bed, all doped up on pills and everything else. So, yeah, it's back. And unfortunately, it is pretty bad. I think it kind of, I started to feel a little bit of pain down there in late June. I had hurt my back in the spring, but that healed up pretty quickly. So I don't think they're related. But I tried then to keep up on, some stretching and just being a little bit cautious. Mostly with my back, that's where sciatica pain is generated from, even if that's not where you feel it. For me, it's a horrible nerve pain, mostly through my hamstring. It'll shoot all the way down into my calf muscle and everything like that. That's where I'm at right now. But, then going on tour, it was hard to keep up on the stretching, when you're traveling and you're tent sleeping. Tried to do some back stretches, but really wasn't doing enough. And then for a few weeks, it just kind of stayed the same and didn't really get worse. I wasn't taking anything. But when I made the last video where we rode out to our buddy Bob's picnic, memorial picnic, that day I could tell it felt like it was coming on, and I had a feeling I wasn't going to be able to hold it off. And sure enough, on Monday and Tuesday, it really got bad. I started to take Advil again, and I pretty much have to stay on an Advil routine. It's the only thing that works for me to help with the pain. So pretty much every 7-8 hours, I have to take it. I take 3 Advils. I try to eat something and drink a bunch of water. I'm not a fan of having to take it because Advil is pretty hard on your stomach. It's just not very good for you in general, but I haven't found anything else that works. I remember when we were on the tour in 2020 and I was having my sciatica pain. I had a friend who gave me some Percocets for the trip. And basically, I could take some Percocets and drink a beer and feel high, but still have horrible nerve pain. It's that anti-inflammatory quality of Advil, or I use the generic ibuprofen, that actually is the only thing that really works. And then I feel it around 6-7 hours wearing off and the pain comes back. It's really interesting, though, because I could totally ride. If I'm riding my bike, I'm absolutely fine. Might feel a little bit of numbness, but in general, it doesn't hurt when I'm in motion. It's like we ride and then I sit somewhere. If the Advil's wearing off, I'll just go into horrible pain. It's really hard to sleep at night as well. I wake up in the pain. I have to get up, eat something, take the Advil, try and drink water. So I've been extremely tired. But yeah, I don't stay off the bike. The common knowledge that I seem to read from doctors is that sciatica pain is very common in men in their 40s and 50s, and time is really the only thing that heals it. I believe that too. I've thrown everything at it in the past. The last 2 times I had it, a couple of different chiropractors, following advice a lot of people gave me. And I just really think time is the thing that heals it. I do try and keep my back loose, and I try and be careful so I don't injure my back while I'm in this kind of pain. I do ice my back a little bit when I'm sitting down and eating lunch, or, I'll even lay down after a ride and kind of ice my back a little bit. Just try and keep the blood flowing, but I haven't found anything that works. I know everyone's going to give me a lot of advice, and that's cool. As you know, I read every comment, I respond to every comment, but I believe the only thing you could do for sciatica is try and prevent it. It's about keeping up on those stretches and exercises beforehand. That's just something that's really hard for me. One, when you feel good, you don't feel like doing that kind of stuff anyways. It's just hard to stay motivated to stretch and exercise. I find what helps is a lot of lateral exercises because everything I do is that locomotion, riding a bike. Now, the first time I got it, I was also running a lot. I was doing half marathons back then. But to me, keeping up on that is the most important thing. And the fact that I know I let it go a little bit in late June and July, I think is probably why I'm here again. The other thing that makes it hard for me to keep up on the exercising and the stretches like that is my schedule. It's just hard to maintain a routine as a commercial photographer. My schedule is always different. Like I can't have like a set morning. Some mornings I have to get up and get to a shoot. My schedule's all over the place. And I think if I had a more normal routine thing, it might be easier for me to keep up on it. It's just something going forward I just have to do and pay attention to. And I need to remind myself how bad it is when I have it like I do right now. I mean, it could be on the border of unbearable, the pain. When we were on the tour, when I had it really bad, I would get up in the morning and, I would eat a couple snacks to get something in my stomach, take the Advil while everyone was making coffee and getting the morning going and starting to pack up the tents. And I had that 45 minutes just sitting there in miserable pain until the Advil would kick in. And then again, when we got to the lunch spot, I'd be sitting there waiting to get lunch, just miserable until I could eat something and then get the Advil back in. So I will be interested in what everyone has to say. If you can relate to this, what you've done. Like I said, I'll read the advice on anyone thinking if there's something you can do for it. I truly don't believe there is. I know that some people do have surgery and go that far and that route. A lot of studies have showed, though, that even when it's chronic, surgery hasn't healed most people more than just time does itself. Like, they're in the same place they would have been in 6 to 12 months. I'm no doctor. This is the stuff I've, internet research here, but I've tried to use reputable sources when I've researched this because, laying awake in the middle of the night waiting for Advil to kick in gives you plenty of time to do stuff like that. Anyways, I'm not trying to make this a total bummer. I'm just kind of describing where I'm at. I think a lot of people can relate. I have other friends who have had sciatica or certain injuries develop. For me, it's like I said, I think it's an overuse injury coupled with not keeping up on the exercising and stretching that I know I need to do. I'm not somebody who also, like on the routine thing, like I'm not going to be going to a gym or a yoga studio, but I do know like the yoga type stretching is something that really helps me. Just something I need to really, again, pay more attention to going forward. Anyways, that's it for this video. There's a lot of new people around here and I really appreciate it. A lot of people have subscribed to the channel over those last few videos about the C&O trail and bike packing and our buddy Bob's memorial picnic. So I really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel because you dig this stuff, I do have some cool bandanas and stickers and stuff for sale in the description below. Other than that, I will see you out on the trails.